Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to the last NFL football episode of the 2022-2023 season. Greg, it's a sad
It's
day. It's a
gross.
bad day.
It is.
But here we are. It's the big game. It's the Super Bowl. It's in Arizona. It's arguably the best two teams of both conferences all year long.
One seed from both sides for sure.
The Pat Mahomes Invitational went the way the Pat Mahomes Invitational should go in the AFC Championship.
Yep.
He's in the finals, as we like to call it here on NBA trade deadline day. And the Eagles, who have had the best defensive and offensive line, who have been the best team in the NFC all year when they had a healthy team, especially quarterback.
Yeah.
They're representing the NFC, which probably the easiest road in the playoffs I could think about in the last maybe 5 to 10 years. I personally cannot think of an easier route. And that's no, slight to them. You got to play your schedule. You got to play your play. They're in the playoffs, right? But they just beat the San Francisco Giants, San Francisco 49ers with Brock Purdy injured. They beat the New York Giants, who shouldn't have even been there. Without further ado, man, let's just start with the game before we get into the props, before we get into the craziness. What do you think about this game, Greg? We've been watching every single game. We've handicapped every single game of this season. Every single one.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you feel about the Kansas City Chiefs, who never cover, versus the Philadelphia Eagles, who the entire world is absolutely sure, absolutely positive that they're going to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I like Kansas City for sure. We talked about it in the beginning of the season. I had San Fran and the Eagles in the NFC Championship. I have the Eagles for like $25. It isn't a crazy bet for the Super Bowl, but
What's that net?
500.
Okay, not
25
bad,
to win
not bad.
500. It's not bad. So my prop bets, I have a couple prop bets, game specific prop bets for Kansas City as a little bit of a hedge. But then also I have obviously fun prop bets for Gatorade and Rihanna and all that stuff.
So
Um,
where do you bet on those? Those are off book, right? Because you can't do that stuff in New
in
York.
New York, yeah, you can't do it. I do have on here. I pulled up some articles that had this stuff. So when I do have the books that are available for people that aren't in New York, I'll name the sports book that has that bet. So if you have access to it in New York, you can't obviously bet it. So
But real
um,
quick on that note,
yeah,
FanDuel, for example, if you're in New Jersey, they
mhm,
have the coin toss. They have the coin toss result. They have the Gatorade.
yep,
They have the props, which as our boy Chip Murphy points out,
it's pretty cool.
you could bet the offensive rookie, the defensive rookie, any of those type of quote unquote non-competitive games. You could bet that in New Jersey. You just can't bet it in New York for whatever reason. So that's where we're sitting right now.
Yeah, as far as the game goes, though, 60% of the money is on the Eagles. Like you said, everyone that you talk to, people online, people that are on sports shows and stuff, everyone seems to be all over the Eagles. It makes me love the Chiefs. 40% of the money. Pat Mahomes as an underdog in the Super Bowl. You might never see it again. I talked about when we were going through the pandemic, Disney stock under $100. You may never see it again in your lifetime. I feel like this is another you may never see it again in your lifetime thing. Pat Mahomes as an underdog in the Super Bowl. Um, yeah, I mean, 2 points isn't anything crazy, but still, just the fact that it hasn't been moving and people are betting and talking about the Eagles so much makes me really like the Chiefs. What about you? What do you think? What do you like?
Greg, I don't know if we're syncing up at this point at the end of the season
Yeah.
because I legitimately feel the same way. And hand up, I've been saying all throughout this playoffs, this is the Eagles' championship to lose.
Yeah.
This is it. Um, I couldn't even fathom, honestly, a scenario where the Eagles weren't going to get there. The Brock Purdy stuff did scare me a little bit, right? He was winning. He kind of was showing me the Brady formula where Brady in his first Super Bowl had one touchdown in that entire playoff run. Brock Purdy was doing better than that.
Yeah.
And they had just as good of a defense. They have the weapons. They have the head coach. They have the system. So I was honestly a little bit worried about San Francisco. But once they got injured, it was pretty much over for Philly. Listen, The offensive line is dominant. The defensive line is dominant. The cornerbacks are dominant. Like, what else do you want? You know what I mean? They have a quarterback who's fine. They have the running backs. They have the wide receivers. So they have Goddard at tight end. I have no idea why they're gonna lose this game. I'm not gonna sit here and give you like a straight handicap and say they're gonna hold up Hargrove and they're gonna hold up this D line and this Chiefs offensive line who has crazy names. Humphrey and Thuney and Orlando Brown, all our
Yeah.
boys. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to take over this Philly team and they're going to hold them down. That would be disingenuous. But dude, Mahomes, I'm pretty sure he's been an underdog 9 times in his career, and he was 7-0-1 until that Tampa game. Right? Was it? Was it? There was one game this year that they didn't cover. Was it the Bills game? Maybe
That they lost outright where they
as an
were
underdog.
underdog. I can't
No, it just
remember.
didn't cover. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. First, lost straight up while an underdog.
Yeah.
His
I
record's
can't.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's above 90%.
Yeah. That's the thing. So, can we get into some of the prop bets? Because that kind of goes with one of my prop bets. And that's when Pat Mahomes, when he is an underdog, I think he averages 42 passes a game. I don't
Okay.
necessarily like the yards because I don't know exactly who's going to be out there at receiver for them. Again, we're not, recording a couple
Are
days
you
in
worried about
advance.
Tony?
I don't know. I just don't know.
There's too much nonsense about it. I think Kadarius Tony's going to be absolutely fine.
And it's one of those things where even if they come in, how long do they last? Like Juju Smith-Schuster could be out by halftime. Tony could
You
be
really
out by
think that?
halftime. You don't
Dude,
know.
they had a bye week. I mean, I feel like the last game was yesterday, but they
Yeah.
had 2 weeks off, and this is the Super Bowl. I just can't imagine these players aren't going to play. Dude, Terrell Owens played with a broken leg. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
In my brain, there's just no. Patrick Mahomes played with a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, I
1
mean
week later,
Odell
and then
Beckham
2 weeks
played
later.
Odell Beckham played injured and then tore his ACL. You just don't know with the guys that are hurt a lot.
But here's the thing, Greg. When Pat Mahomes was 1 week off a high ankle sprain, everybody told me this is crazy. He's going to be injured. There's no way he was absolutely fine. And now 3 weeks removed from that injury, or 4 weeks removed from that injury, people are telling me, hey, who knows if Pat Mahomes is going to be fully healthy? I do like call me an idiot, call me dumb. I don't know. I'm so confused. And yes, to clear it up, the only game they lost was the Bills game
Yeah.
as an underdog. They were 2.5 underdogs and they lost 24-20
Yeah.
during the season. So
Bills had demons to exercise. But anyway, so my bet for that thought line there was Pat Mahomes over 38.5 attempts. Don't necessarily know what he's going to do for yards. Don't necessarily know what he's going to do for touchdowns or receptions. But 38.5 attempts. He throws the ball usually 42 times when he's been an underdog in his 9 games. I just think that's a pretty good bet. I think it's going to be a close game. I think they're going to be throwing the ball. Even if they do end up kind of getting a lead at some point, I think there's Pacheco, and that's really it for the running back. So I don't think there's a ton of opportunities there.
you
So
think McKinnon might break one out some way somehow here?
yeah, maybe. But I just like the attempts. So over 30.5 attempts. That's my first prop bet for the game. Like I said, they're going to be a little bit more Kansas City Chief heavy. I do have one Philly one. But what about you? Do you have any prop bets for the actual game? Touchdown scores, over unders.
So I'm a little worried about Super Bowl prop bets, to be honest with you, especially when they're pretty much even,
Mm-hmm.
like over unders where it's like minus 110 or minus 120 or plus 125, basically even money.
Yeah.
That stuff scares me because this is the most bet event in the year. And they're getting money on both sides. So that's where, the quote unquote Vegas nose comes into play, and it worries me. So the prop bets do worry me. Full disclosure, speaking of New Jersey, I've had some wagers through Mojo
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit where I've had the stock of Jalen Hurts passing or rushing touchdowns. So I need 2 more to basically like almost 5-6 times my money that I had in the beginning of the playoffs. Which would be so that's something I'm looking forward to. So I need
Okay.
I need 2 touchdowns from Hurts personally. I have Goddard as well to get me some touchdowns because here's the thing with Kansas City. Yes, Mahomes is amazing, but their defense has been slacking. So I like
Yeah.
the over in this game. I
Okay.
definitely like the over in this game.
50, 51, 50 and a half, depending on where you're looking.
To be honest with you, I think it could even be over 55. I
Yeah.
think it could, I think it could be a pretty high scoring game, like between 55 and 60, maybe 57 on the dot. It
Yep.
feels like to me how this game's gonna go. So I have Goddard all over the place. I still have Hurts. I took I mean, again, this is a weird episode. We're not doing our our teasers. We're not doing our Hail Mary parlays. But full disclosure, you want to know my Hail Mary parlay?
Yeah, I got one too. What is it?
All right, go ahead. You go first.
All right. Travis Kelce goes bananas.
What
Travis
is it?
Kelce over 7.5 receptions. Travis Kelce over 80 yards. Travis Kelce 2 touchdowns plus 900. You can also, if you're feeling that and you think that's enough to win MVP, you can do Travis Kelce to win Super Bowl MVP. I think it's plus 1,200, plus 1,500, depending on the sports book. So,
Do you
if
think
you,
there's any possible way that Kelsey gets the MVP and not Mahomes? Mahomes is the
I,
darling.
yeah, I think the only way is if Kelsey gets I was just about to look because I think the only way he does is if he gets 3 touchdowns. Um,
But what
like
if Mahomes
all
gives it to him? You're still going to give it to Kelsey?
if
If Mahomes
all
has
the
like four
touchdowns, if
touchdowns?
all like if all if like 80% of the offense runs through Kelsey, then he's the MVP. If Pat Mahomes spreads it around and gives like 2 to Kelsey, 1 to Juju, Pacheco runs in one, Tooney gets one, then it's Pat Mahomes the MVP. Like
Gotcha.
75% or 80% of the offense has to run through one player. Is how I feel about it for the offense of for
Okay.
the MVP to be someone other than the quarterback.
Okay.
So if you throw in 3 touchdowns, if you want to get nutty and throw in 3 touchdowns, that's a
It's like
way
plus what,
better bet.
3,000?
That single bet by itself is plus 2,600. So you get the whole bet up to plus 4,600.
Sheesh,
Three
dude,
touch.
that's kind of low for three touchdowns, honestly. That should be like 3,500
Yeah, he's the
at
only one.
least.
He's the only one with decent odds. Other than that,
Yeah.
or low odds. Other than that, Miles Sanders 47, AJ Brown 5,000, Pacheco 6,000. So if there's
All right.
anyone
Well,
that's going to
speaking
do
of
it, he's
those
the guy that's going to
guys,
do it.
my Hail Mary parlay is a six. I want the over. So I
Sure.
picked six players that can give me a touchdown
I like
anytime.
that. Okay.
It's plus 25,000. Travis Kelsey, AJ Brown, Dallas Goddard, Pacheco, Miles Sanders, and Kadarius Toney. All
Okay.
those get a touchdown. I put $1 on it, so that's 250. I'm gonna also put more, but just to save the spot, so I'm able to bet it. Probably
Yeah.
gonna put like $20 on it, just so if it happens, I go absolutely nuts and and I killed it at the Super Bowl. But other than that, man, I'm kind of scared of this game. I'm be honest, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Eagles
Only other
betting
bet
up.
I only
Go
other
ahead.
bet I had, John, before we kind of wrap up the game talk. Um, Total rushing and passing for Jalen Hurts. To your point, the Kansas City defense hasn't been stellar all season. I think they've allowed the 10th most passing yards to quarterbacks this season and the 5th most rushing yards to quarterbacks this season. His over-under right now on FanDuel is 291 and a half. I've seen it at 288. I've seen it at 290. So shop that line. Try to get a good number. But combined passing and rushing yards for Jalen Hurts over 290, whatever it is, 292. I think that's definitely a possibility. I think in the last 10 games he's played where he's been a favorite of 3 or fewer points, he averages 305 combined rushing and passing yards. So
Okay.
that's a 5-10 yard cushion, not a lot, especially for the Super Bowl. Hopefully, he gets a little bit more play cuz he's the focal point. Other thing I saw, which I don't know if you might like, because you're talking about the really heavily juiced odds. Last score to be a winning score. Last team to score to something like that. It's like if you
Yeah.
last score takes the lead or something like that or whatever it is, it's plus 250. You can find that on the sports book. That's one that made me a little, got me interested because if it's going to be a close game, chances are the last score is going to win the game. So I don't know. Thought that was interesting.
All right. So I got some interesting bets here that I also touched. And this is, I guess, Hail Mary, whatever you want to call it. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But hear me out. Scorigami is plus 1800.
Saw that.
Final score to have occurred in a past Super Bowl
Oh,
plus 470.
I like
That's
that.
interesting because it's both ways,
Yeah.
right? There's no like, oh, AFC, NFC. This is just two scores.
Right. Right.
I feel like I
20.
want Trey Wingo on just to just start screaming numbers at me right now because I feel like a lot of them sound good to me.
Yeah. Right. 24-21. I'm sure that's happened before.
It's a big one for me. It really is a big one.
I got
And
a good.
lastly,
Yeah, I got.
go ahead.
I got a good one for you if you're going for the over.
Mhm.
Combined jersey number of all touchdown scorers.
Oh my
So
God, I'm
you-
literally doing math.
So you're at the over under set at 170.5 on this is on DraftKings.
That's literally a
So-
complete guess for me. Like I would have no, like I have no idea how to actually handicap that. I'll just take the over and just be like, all right, let's start adding. Every time someone scores.
Especially now with players could be any number. It's like, oh, Devonta
yeah.
Smith scored. Let's go. He's in the 80s. He's a wide receiver. It's like, oh shit, he's
He's a
number
one.
9. Yeah, he's number
Oh, yeah.
1.
And so is Juju.
Yeah.
AJ Brown's 11. Oh, I don't like that, Greg. I'm gonna take the
So
under.
I thought that was just mad funny. It's like back in the day, it's like, all right, I see some wide receivers to score, and I should be good here. And I started thinking about it. I was like, even if there are 6 touchdowns, I don't know how I feel
kinda like
about
the
that.
under.
Yeah,
I kind of like the under.
yeah.
Unless like a lineman scores.
Yeah, I don't even know. It was Kelsey. Kelsey's in the 80s, right? So he's the only
87,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, he's the only one that I could think of off the top of my head that has like a large
mean,
number.
Mahomes to Kelsey is 100, basically. It's 97. So
I don't know if you. I don't think you count. I think you just count the score.
Oh,
Whoever
I was about to
scores.
say. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
you just add up everyone that scores, and you just get whatever the number is.
So, just lastly,
Yeah.
I have 2 more props here, but just the last note I forgot to mention. There is notes of the offensive line being sick for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Something like that always comes out. It scares me, but I have to ignore it. I just have to ignore it.
I don't think it's true. I saw that too, but I also saw on Barstool they said that they ran into the Chiefs' offensive line last night at the Burt Kreischer show. So I think that.
So, dude,
I think
dude,
if they were
it-
sick,
they
Orlando
want us to
Brown-
bet the Eagles so bad. Everybody wants us to take the Eagles so bad. The whole world
Oh,
wants
yeah.
me to take the Eagles. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
The city, like the whole Philly thing, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts is being poetic in every single press conference. Dude, I haven't heard a word from Pat Mahomes.
Perfect. That's what I
Honestly.
want.
I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything from him?
Nope.
Dude, man, the more we talk, I'm so glad we do this. 'Cause
State
I'm
Farm
starting to
Marina,
love the
John. It
Chiefs.
was written in the script.
And then the year that Tom Brady retires. Dum dum dum. All right. My last 2 props here. Thanks for listening with us. Thanks for sticking around all year.
Yeah, it's been a
Uh,
fun year.
We'll be back for March Madness. NBA stuff is about to get hot. So we're definitely gonna get into the NBA trade deadline. Was crazy today. I'm watching every single NBA game, so I'm gonna be all over it. Especially when it comes to playoff stuff.
Yeah,
I know
if
you don't know.
if
I know nobody cares, Greg, but my
Yeah.
divisions are alive. My
Okay.
divisions are officially alive. The Rangers made a nice trade from the Blues, got an offensive guy. The NBA looking good. The Warriors now making a run towards the division. Scared of the Suns, though. The Nets even have a chance with Jalen Brown's face broken with their 19 3-and-D guys.
Yeah.
Listen, my road to being a millionaire off of 50-cent bets is literally alive because of this trade deadline. So I'm
That's
just throwing that
beautiful.
out there.
Yeah, so if you're rocking with us on the YouTube, definitely check out the podcast. Winning Picks Weekly is available anywhere podcasts are available. It would really help us out a ton if you download it, subscribe to it, rate it 5 stars, left a comment. We would love to read it and talk to you guys about it. But then again, you can find us on Twitter, Jay Meleka or Winning Pete Weekly on Twitter. Or if you want to check us out on YouTube, see our beautiful faces and our reactions as we go through this, you could check us out on the Knicks, Jets, etc. YouTube channel. We're a playlist there for Winning Picks Weekly where we talk about all our gambling stuff. Like John said, we're going to take a little break because football season is sadly over. It's tough to say. It's a tough realization. I won't believe it until the end of the Super Bowl. But we're going to take a little break, and then we'll be back for March Madness, NBA, all summer long for baseball.
Also, NFL draft. I think we're going to have an NFL draft episode.
Yes, we will have an NFL draft episode. I in my head, I can't figure out what comes first. I think it's March Madness first before the NBA. Then the NFL draft.
Before the NFL draft. Yeah,
and
but
then the NBA playoffs.
maybe we'll do a little joint session there, just a preview, because
Yeah.
that's when the draft odds start trickling.
Yeah, in
I'm
a
down
few
with that.
minutes, the defensive rookie of the years are going to be and offensive rookie of the years are going to be announced.
So last thing,
Sauce and Wilson. I really need
he's
those
getting
guys
it.
to come through. Sauce
They're
for
getting it.
sure. Wilson would be nice too.
My prediction is Kenneth Walker only gets one vote, and Gary
Ooh,
Wilson gets the rest. That's or maybe two max. I think it's gonna be a blowout.
from
I don't think
your
Purdy's getting anything.
from your mouth to God's
Lastly,
ears.
if you made it all the way here, I got my two favorite prop bets.
Oh, I got a ton still. Don't worry, I'll rattle them off. Whew.
All right, I got my two favorite ones, Greg, and then you could close us out here.
Sure.
Any player to rush for 100+ yards, plus 310.
I like that. I didn't see that one.
Any player to have 100+ receiving yards, no, plus 265.
How many?
Kind of like that too.
Just a
Over
hundred
100.
receiving.
Nobody's gonna have 100 over. When I was looking through the last couple Super Bowls, it's hard to find them.
Everyone's
It's hard.
over. Everyone's over under is under 100 for receiving.
I know. So I'm taking those two both for a couple hundred here, just to get my juices flowing
Yeah,
through
I
this
think
game.
Kelsey's the high at 80. One thing I did see, which I will give out one last pick for the actual game as a flyer if you want to take it, Quez Watkins on Philly. I'm not taking a lot of Philly bets, but I was watching a video about it earlier. This guy made some really good points. When the Eagles are in close games, Quez Watkins catches balls and makes plays. The last two
Interesting.
games, he literally hasn't caught a ball in the last two games because both games have been blowouts. His over-under is 12.5. In close games, I think he's averaging 20 receiving yards a game. So he's usually good for one 15-yard play down the field. He's kind of the speed guy, outside guy. So if you think it's going to be a close game, I think that's something to keep an eye on. It's plus 100, too. It's pretty good odds. So let's go through rapid fire real quick and finish this up, John. We talked about it before. Coin flip, tails, over on the national anthem. Gatorade color this year, John. We talked about it last year. I was a big blue guy last year. Over the last 10 seasons, it's been
Did it hit?
It's been orange and blue a lot. I don't believe it hit last year, but I can't remember. I think it was plus 500 or so. It's come down, plus 375 this season. I like orange and blue. Orange is plus 300.
Yo, orange and blue skies.
Plus
Yo,
375.
I mean, your speeches are the choir right now on trade deadline day. I'm down for orange and blue.
I love it. Blues hit at 50% hit rate for the last 10 seasons.
Okay.
And you're getting plus 375 odds. Orange has hit 30% of the time. So, I think you have some pretty good odds there. Again, Rihanna we're talking about for the Super Bowl. There's tons of prop bets here that I like for Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Rihanna. Don't get me wrong, Rihanna.
Yo, she said apparently she changed her set 38 times.
I believe it. I believe it. The over-under on songs is 9.5. I like the over 9.5 songs. I think it's going to be halftime to remember. I'm a Rihanna fan over Beyonce. That's a debate for another day.
Isn't it only 15 minutes?
I think so, but dude, I think it's gonna be quick.
9.5 in 15 minutes,
dude. Like J-Lo and Shakira did 15 songs last year. Was 11 songs. Like they moved through songs in the Super Bowl.
I love this so much.
Things happen in the Super Bowl halftime show, John. It's not quick. First song, best odds, Diamonds plus 220. I think it's Don't Stop the Music. I think Please Don't Stop the Music comes out. Gets the crowd going.
Bro, I would take the lowest odds. I would take the low. What's the lowest odds?
Diamonds plus 220.
I mean, wait, that's like the favorite or the biggest dog.
That's the favorite.
No, what's the biggest dog? What's the biggest dog?
Oh, bitch, better have my money. I don't know if I can even say that on YouTube.
Yo,
plus 1,500. Live Your Life plus 1,400.
Bro, why not?
Why not?
Dude, we have no idea. There. We have literally no idea yet.
Yeah.
People who watch our rehearse this weekend will have an idea, and the odds will change, and so will the anthem. Dude, why not? They change it every 5 minutes. Just take 1,500.
I love it.
You're working all year to figure out these props, to figure out these teams, to figure out these divisions. Meanwhile, you just have to pick the dumbest song, and then it's plus 1,500.
Yeah, I agree. Also, too, there's the last song. I think a good song there is Umbrella plus 250. But also there, I don't mind Don't Stop the Music at plus 550.
What's Umbrella?
Umbrella to be the last song is plus 250.
What's to be the first?
First song, plus 645.
Yo, I like them both. You know why?
Why?
Because Jay-Z is the one that got her there. He's the one that's affiliated with the NFL, and that's
Yeah.
his song. You don't
Yeah,
think Jay-Z's gonna come out and chill?
I
Especially
think
if he
so.
buys a team and then he's no longer part of it anymore. Remember, he's rumored to be part of the expansions.
John, you ready for this? Guest special appearance list. Jay-Z minus 250, the lowest odds of anyone here. Drake minus 200, Calvin Harris minus 200.
Yeah, Jay-Z's gonna be there.
Maybe Jay-Z pops out for a little bit, does a
Can you
little
parlay
umbrella to
Jay-Z
start.
and Drake?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I
because I
don't
do
think
think they're
so.
both gonna be there.
I don't
The
know if you
Drake
get
commercial
both.
was weird in the LeBron day. It
Yeah.
actually pissed me off. I
Yeah.
I was thinking about you the whole time, and I knew you were gonna say it's cool, it's amazing because
That's
it's Drake and
awesome.
everything. It sucked. And I would say one more thing: the OVO NFL gear sucks.
Oh, come on.
I don't
Come
want a
on. We
Jets
can't
one.
end the football season on that. Those Little Wayne in that Green Bay, that was fire. Anyway, last prop bet here. What color will Rihanna's first outfit be? Black plus 125. I think that's a stone cold lock. I think you're going to see outfit changes. I think you're going to see some stuff happen here. But I think black to start plus
Yeah,
125.
there's no analysis there. All right, that's a
Yeah.
lock. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. And that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay with us. We'll let you know when we drop another episode here, when the fun things start coming out.
Yeah.
That's about it. Love you guys.
It's been an
We out.
incredible season. Thank you so much. We'll be back for the madness.
Recording stopped.
All right, good episode, bro.
Yeah, Raisi keeps telling me it's not in the thing. I put it in like 4 times now. No joke. I've put it in yesterday and I put it in today. What's happening? I
Whoa.
literally see it. Episode 155. Oh wait. Uh, okay. It's not. For some reason it didn't go in the actual folder. It's just like you like see it like sitting around, or that only I can see that.
Knicks, Jets, etc. What is it? Jets episode?
Yeah.
Jets episode 155. There's
155.
nothing in the folder.
What's happening?
Oh, it's in the 154 or no.
No,
No,
I
sorry.
changed that for that reason.
Yeah.
So weird, dude. All right. I'm about to
There's
open
in
it
the
again.
154, there's two. There's 154 and 155. I think that's just the old one.
Oh, you think I messed it up?
No.
Hold
Cuz
on.
it says February 2nd, so that was last week.
All right, all right. All right, yo.
Oh, yeah, it's just a loose file. It's just a loose file, not in a
Yeah, that
folder.
was my bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I put another one in there.
I found it.
I'm like, dude, what's going on? Like, I'm doing everything right. I don't
Yeah.
understand. All right. Peace out.
All right, later, bro.
I'm gonna drop this. You drop the YouTube, and I'll send this.
Jets first or Knicks first?
Well, honestly, the Knicks is more important because it's a deadline,
Yeah.
and like label it like trade deadline. Did you listen to it?
I haven't. I just
Was it
uploaded
okay?
it.
Oh,
I haven't listened to it yet. I didn't
I
get a
did
chance
just-
to do anything today. I was busy with all my
I feel you.
deadlines and stuff.
All right.
And then my fucking computer stopped working when I got home. It was driving me. I spent an hour and 40 minutes figuring it out. But I got both of them uploaded. I hopped on my laptop, uploaded both of them. So now I'm gonna listen to them and put timestamps on them. I'll get you that info in the next like 5 minutes.
All right. I'm
All right.
gonna have to shower because the girl's on my way.
All right, peace, bro.